Hey everyone, Renova here. I hope everyone is trying out the new Waker class since it's released now. If you guys have not seen my Waker guide walking through the skill tree and the familiars, I highly recommend it, even if you're new or returning back to NGS. I will link the video down in the description below. In this video, we're going to focus on the Maromelo familiar. Maromelo can only be used as a main class though, so it's basically useless as a subclass. Since it is only usable by counterattacking, you have two ways. One by using the weapon action to guard attacks, and one by using the active skill that will let you perform your attacks uninterrupted. And if you take a closer look at your familiar palette above your weapon palette, you'll notice that it has two bars. You will need the Harmonizer focus passive skill in order to access this. This is where those counters come in, but each counter comes in stages. But you must counter using Maromelo, so if you do a sidestep counter method, it will not count. Blocking once with Maromelo will grant you 1 bar, blocking not 2 times, but 3 times will get you the second bar. And depending on how many stocks you've charged up, the damage varies depending on how many you have. You can hold the weapon action to throw Maromelo to deal damage, and like I said, the damage depends on how many stocks you have. If you look at the Maromelo strike passive skill on the Waker skill tree, the difference in potency in each stage is different. Throwing Maromelo without any charges will do the lowest amount of damage. Throwing Maromelo with at least 1 charge will do a slightly better damage. And throwing Maromelo with 2 bars will deal a massive amount of damage. You can see the big difference between stage 1 and 2. You can also see a visual change with Maromelo since he grows in size depending on how many charges you stored for him. So let's say you missed your active parry, and by the way, there is a cooldown if you use a hot Maromelo parry, and if you parry successfully, there is a 10-second cooldown. However, if you use active and missed a successful parry, the hot Maromelo parry short cooldown lightens that punishment by shortening the cooldown by half. Guarding with the active skill will also give you a charge stack on the gauge. I would only use this in sticky situations if you're in the middle of an attack and animation lock that you can't cancel out. You can use this active to block the attack for you and still carry out your attacks uninterrupted. I know it seems a little difficult to utilize both methods to counter and stack up those charges. My advice is to watch enemy attacks carefully and plan ahead. But yeah, hope this clears some things with Maromelo. It can only be used as a main class, not a subclass. If you're comfy with just charging up the stacks with just using the weapon action, by all means, stick with that. You also have the tracing skill, so Maromelo can home onto enemies when you throw him. Sidestepping does not charge the stacks, only the weapon action and the active guard will charge it, and you need to counter 3 times to charge up those 2 stacks to be able to deal the full amount of damage. But yeah, hope this helps. If it did, I would appreciate a like and a sub for more PSO2 content, and as it helps for the channel as well. I hope you all have a great weekend, and I'll see you all in the next one. Maybe on live streams sometimes on Twitch.